Will she nod, or shake her head no? That was the biggest question of my life. Right in the middle of the moment when the whole room fell silent in anticipation. Hello everyone. I am Alex, wishing you all a very happy new day. Today, I want to bring to you an emotion that I have been waiting for months. The emotion when I decided to kneel before the girl I love, Tuna. I had prepared everything perfectly, but when the candles flickered on the birthday cake, my hands were still shaking. I opened the small box, looked straight into Tuna's eyes, surprised and touched. And then, the whole room held its breath, only my heart beating rapidly. Will she agree? Don't take your eyes off, because the emotion at the end of this video might be what you've been waiting for a long time. And if you like it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes. Early afternoon, the golden sunlight gently spread through the treetops in front of the porch. I stopped the car in front of Tuna's small house, full of excitement. As soon as I entered, I couldn't contain my joy, and said excitedly, "Tuna, let's go out with me today." She looked up slightly. It was still the same familiar appearance, a shirt and simple fabric pants. Her hair tied neatly at the nape of her neck. Her face was bare, but so bright that it made me pause for a moment. But then, my smile suddenly fell. Tuna shook her head, her eyes turned towards the house, her voice soft but determined. "No, Henry, I can't leave him alone." I stepped closer, smiling reassuringly. "I've thought about that. My mother will be here to help look after Henry. Don't worry, she loves him very much." Tuna was silent. Her eyes were still hesitant, mixed with worry. I knew that words alone were not enough to convince her. I told her about the months of preparation, about the cozy house waiting for me, about the long-term plans I had drawn up, not only for myself, but for all three of us. ID on single quotes, to want you to have to choose alone anymore. Let me take care of Henry, with you, go through both peaceful and stormy days with you. My voice trembled, but it was sincere from the bottom of my heart. Tuna looked at me for a long time, then sighed softly. She turned back into the house, looking at Henry sleeping soundly, his small hands gently clasped in a sweet dream. Finally, she nodded, a hesitant nod, but it filled my heart with hope. We packed a few light things, a towel of Henry's, a few clothes, and a small wooden box containing Tuna's memories. I helped her put everything in the trunk. As the car door closed, I caught a glimpse of confusion on her face, but I also realized that hidden deep in her eyes was a very small ray of light, a ray of faith. The car stopped in front of the villa, the afternoon sunlight falling golden on the steps. My mother was waiting. Her gentle eyes made me feel secure. As soon as she carried Henry into the house, Tuna shook her head slightly, her voice worried. "I'm not sure. Henry is too young. I can't leave him alone," smiled reassuringly, gently holding her hand. I asked Mom, "Do you trust her? Just for one day, let me take you." My mother stepped forward, gently opening her arms to welcome Henry. Tuna hesitated, looked at her sleeping child, then sighed, tremblingly handing him to her. Her eyes were still filled with worry, but hidden deep inside was a glimmer of anticipation. I took her hand, gently squeezing it. The villa door closed behind her, leaving Henry peacefully in her arms, while Tuna and I walked out, starting a new journey. The first place I took Tuna to was a clothing store. The yellow light fell on the shiny tile floor, clearly illuminating her slim figure as she stepped out of the fitting room. I sat quietly on the long chair near the large mirror, and at that moment, the whole world around me seemed to stop. Tuna wore a white shirt, loose-fitting, her hands gently twisting the hem of the shirt as if she was still shy. Her face was plain, without any makeup but strangely bright. Her eyes met mine, awkwardly asking in a small voice, "Does it fit?" I was stunned for a moment, then chuckled. In my heart, I wanted to say right away, "There is no shirt in the world that fits better than when you wear it," but I just nodded, letting my eyes do the talking. She turned back in, trying on another light blue shirt, then another plaid, then a pink one. Every time the fitting room door opened slightly, my heart beat faster. It was strange, just simple shirts, but when Tuna put them on, they turned into something indescribably attractive. Every look of hers, when she turned around in front of the mirror, when she bit her lip because she was shy, when she unconsciously reached out to smooth her collar, made me want to remember it forever. I realized that I was not just watching a girl choosing clothes, I was watching my whole world. While Tuna was still struggling, I also quietly chose many other shirts, of different colors, just to see her in more images. The saleswoman smiled, but in that moment, there was no one else but her. Finally, Tuna held a few blue shirts in her arms, shook her head, and said softly, "I don't need many, this is enough." I wanted to say that she deserved more than that the whole world was not enough, but then I stopped. I just walked closer, gently, held her small hand, letting my heart resonate with the things that had yet to be said. Next is probably what everyone is looking forward to the most. After leaving the clothing store, I took Tuna to a small restaurant by the street. The yellow light shining through the glass window, covering her face with a gentle glow like in an old movie. I know that since giving birth to Henry, Tuna has never sat down at a table outside. Her whole world over the past few years has been wrapped up in simple, hastily cooked meals, just to take care of her child. Tuna looked around a bit awkwardly. Her small hands gently twisted her shirt, as if she was not used to the feeling of being taken care of by someone. I smiled, pulled out a chair for her and whispered, "Tonight, you just need to be yourself. Henry is taken care of by someone." When the food was served, it was just a few simple dishes, but strangely cozy. Tuna held her chopsticks, her eyes suddenly sparkling. I realized that it had been a long time since she had sat down to a meal that was not rushed, not mixed with the sound of a crying child. At that moment, my heart stopped. I understood that what I brought to Tuna was not just a meal, but also a moment of silence for her to remember. She also deserved to be loved. After dinner, I pretended to stand up and told Tuna that I needed to go to the bathroom. She nodded, smiled slightly, and then sat quietly waiting. But the truth was that I quickly walked out of the restaurant, my heart pounding. I didn't go far, but went to a nearby bakery, where I had ordered a small birthday cake and a bouquet of fresh flowers. Today was Tuna's birthday, but for so many years, she had never mentioned it. Her whole world revolved around Henry. Every meal, sleep, every cry. She had forgotten about her own special day. Thinking about it, my heart suddenly tightened. A woman who deserved to be loved, yet she quietly lived as if she was no longer important. When I turned back, I saw Tuna sitting by the window, her eyes following the people passing by on the street. She looked calm, but I knew that deep in her gaze was an emptiness that no words could fill. I approached and placed the cake and bouquet of flowers in front of her. "Happy birthday, Tuna," I said softly, trying to keep my voice calm. She was stunned, her hands trembling slightly as she touched the bouquet. Her eyes were surprised, and then suddenly sparkling, as if she couldn't believe she was still remembered. Her lips moved, intending to say something, but then only a smile mixed with tears came out at that moment. I understood that what I was doing was not just bringing a cake or a bouquet of flowers. I was giving her back the feeling that she was still important, she still deserved to be loved. And in my heart, I promised I would never let Tuna forget that again. The candle on the small cake was still burning, shimmering on Tuna's face. She was still immersed in the unexpected joy when I suddenly felt my heart tremble. There was something I had waited too long for. If I didn't say it now, I was afraid I would miss it for the rest of my life. I stood up, took a deep breath, then knelt down right in front of her. Tuna was momentarily stunned, her eyes wide open, her hands still tightly holding the bouquet of flowers. The space around her seemed to stop. Only the sound of my heart pounding could be heard. "Tuna, My voice trembled but clear. I love you. I love your silent sacrifice. I love even the hardships you hide behind your smile. You have lived too much for Henry. You have forgotten yourself. But from today, let me be the one to remind you that you deserve to be happy. Do you agree to be my wife? She was silent for a moment, her eyes filled with indescribable emotions. But then, unlike the previous times, this time Tuna did not hesitate. She nodded slightly, her bright smile mixed with tears glistening in the corners of her eyes. I agree. That sentence, small but enough to make my whole world explode. I trembled as I took the ring that I had prepared for a long time and put it on her finger. That finger was slender, but from now on it would be the place where I vowed to be attached to for the rest of my life. I hugged Tuna. A warm feeling spread, as if I had finally found a peaceful place to rest. I was extremely happy and joyful.